Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. Thank you guys for spending your Thursday morning and afternoon with us today. I'm going to give everybody a couple more minutes to start joining. And this is where I would cue up the um, elevator music, and we don't have that. So, this is going to be all about Google Local Guarantee today. Let me see if I can presentation this here. All right, there you go. That's looking good. All about Google Local Guaranteed. I'm super excited to share this with you guys. Super excited to give you as much information, as much value, all my tips, tricks, and details on this. So stay tuned. The very end of this, we're going to go through everything, and we're going to have an opportunity for questions and answers during this time in the private chat or in the chat. I don't know if it's private or public. It's public chat. You guys can put in your questions. We'll start gathering these questions, and then any questions we don't gather, we will be answering them at the end of the call. So stay tuned to the end of the call. Okay. So I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds, and then we are going to jump right into it so we don't waste anybody's time here. Can you guys go ahead and just give me a 1 on the chat if you guys can hear me just fine? There we go. I got a bunch of private chats coming in. 1 just fine. Thank you, Yanis. Thanks, John Curtis. Thank you, Jason Nick. Some of you guys, I haven't talked to you guys in a long time. Super excited that you guys joined. Number 1. Cool. There we go. And then I'm going to ask you guys to do a few things for me before we get started. Put in a 2 if you use Google Local Guaranteed right now. Put in a 3 if you do not use it at all right now. Very curious to see where everyone is. 2 if you use it into the chat. 3 if you do not use it at all. Okay. Awesome. Great. Yep, this'll be good. Then we'll be going through this. Again, I cannot say this enough. I really hope this is going to be valuable for you, and you guys are going to get a lot of value out of this. If you have questions, put it in the chat. We'll be putting these questions together in a document while we have this webinar, and we will get to it. So, all right, without further ado, let's just jump to it. All the people who are not here yet, that is their fault, not ours. Here we go. So, all right. Welcome, all about Google Guaranteed. Here is the plan and the goal today. Can you guys see this? Yes, it looks like you can. All right, awesome. The goal is to help you learn and understand Google LSA better, local service ads. Some people refer to, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But my goal is that you understand how to leverage it and know how you can leverage it as the platform as a business owner. Okay, the two different keys. There's a marketing side of things. There's a hey, it's a marketing channel, but you need to know as a business owner, how do I leverage it? How do I integrate it into my company? How do I get my sales team to use this? How does my CRM work into this? And that is what we're going to go through today. A little bit about our background. Rotate Digital was one of the first people in the industry to bring Google Local Service Ads to the market in the moving industry. This was like 2.5, 3 years ago. It came on live. Our clients were some of the first people on, and it was a frenzy of amazingness for those guys who got on. We had a service that you could pay us to get on it, and we'd help you get on it. And we went to this by storm, and it was phenomenal. And since then, it's been a good tool, although things have changed with it. We're basically now sharing all this information with you because in a market we are right now, you have to be omnipresent. You have to be everywhere. You have to be willing to fight for the leads, get the moves. And this is a channel that I believe as a business owner should be leveraged or at least tried out by you. And so we're going to go through that. So we had some dedicated reps at Google that were working with us because of how many people that were basically paying us to get them through the platform. Because back then it was way more complicated to get on to Google Guaranteed than it is now. And so we worked a lot with Google on making this happen. And so we have a lot of insight knowledge on this and a lot of experience and a lot of data on this. Excuse me. What is to come? So here's what we're going to go over: how Google LSA works, the power of Google Guaranteed and its benefits, the risks and the downsides of using it. And then we're going to go through the just tricks and tips no one's talking about, no one really brings up to get the most leverage and the max ROI out of Google Guaranteed. Now you'll notice here I have talked about LSA and Google Guaranteed because there's a lot of different names for it. Just so you guys know, if you don't understand it, Google Local Ads, Google Local Services Ads is an advertising service where you pay for legit leads that you're talking to on the phone with or over chat, that you're having a conversation with, versus just a click. And we'll go through that. I will be using these words interchangeably, and you might hear them in the marketplace out there. Google LSA is Google Local Service Ads, Google Local Ads, Google Guaranteed. Those are all different names for this service. They all mean the same thing. And so you have to just understand, when people talk about Google Ads, they're probably not talking about the Google Local Service Ads and the Google Guaranteed. All right. How is this different from Google Ads? I want you guys to understand this. So as business owners, you need to understand the different methods and what the difference is with Google Ads, the what you guys know as PPC, and what this is. Although this is a form PPC, it's a different marketplace. And so number one thing you need to know is it's an exclusive marketplace to get on. You have to be verified. You have to be basically researched and background checked by Google. You have to be legally operating a business in your state. What that means is you cannot get on the platform if you don't have the proper insurance for your state. And what that does is it makes this an exclusive platform for you to be on. Okay. Number two, it's focused on local businesses only. With Google Ads and Google PPC, you can go all over the country. You can bid everywhere. With Google Guaranteed, you can only be focused on the local businesses, which most of you guys, if not all of you guys, are very locally focused. That's what drives the majority of your business. And so make sure to know that is a benefit of this product, and that's why it's different. Another thing is you don't have to do as much creative copywriting. If you go to Google Ads and you have all the different options to create like cool banners and headers to try to get someone to click on it, you don't have to do that with Google Local Service Ads. You just get more brand visibility with it. They're just taking your brand, your business, and all the core entities that we're going to talk about, and they're putting that up in front of you. How many of you guys have used Google PPC before? Put a 1 if you're using Google PPC. In the chat, put a 1 and then put a 2 if you're not using Google PPC. This is Google Ads, not Google Local Guaranteed. I'm just curious to see how many of you guys are using. Okay. Yeah, 50-50. Okay, good. We'll have a whole nother subject on Google PPC. But yeah, so you don't have to do, ultimately, why it's so powerful as a business owner, you don't have to work as hard on this. And I think that's powerful. And then number 4, meaning your brand and business will be what converts, not fancy copywriting. Here's what I love about it. Some of you guys go, I don't know the fancy copywriting, but you go, I have a kick-ass, well, excuse my language, an awesome business. I got 5-star reviews, 4.9 stars. I got a lot of reviews. My website looks good. Like, I have a good business. That is what's going to work on Google Local Guaranteed over Google PPC. You can have a bad business on Google PPC, a fake business, a non-legally operating business on Google PPC. On Google Local Service Ads, it's your business. It's the value of the business you built that's going to drive the leads. And so I think that's a big, big difference. And the final biggest difference of it all, you are not charged for clicks. You are charged for actual people you talk to. How many? Okay, one more time. I'll probably do this a couple times. How many of you guys hate the fact with PPC, you hate the fact that you could have somebody just looking for your business, then they click on your ad and they call you and they were already looking for you. Someone looking for a job clicks on your ad and boom, right there, you're spending $30 for the click. It's so annoying. And that's the thing that I love about local service ads is it is only people who are talking with you on the phone who are high intent leads. That's the only people you're charged for. You're not charged for a click. You're not charged for somebody looking for a job. You're not charged for nothing, right? It's only charged for the right people, right? You pay per the click, and that's hard, and that can be very hard to build out. With Google Local Service Ads, you are paying for the call. You're paying for the conversation, and that's big. All right, so here's what it looks like and where it shows up. Here's another huge benefit. I'm talking all these benefits. It's at the very top. You can see here in the green, that is Google Local Service Ads or Google Guaranteed. You see that stamp, that check mark stamp, Google Guaranteed. You've got your 4.4 stars, how many reviews, how many years you've been in business. You've got your open, like how, like the hours of operation. And this is something I did at using my, obviously Google knows where I live, right? And what I did is I just typed in moving companies. That's all I did. I just typed in moving companies. And at the very, very top are these ads. And this is powerful because right below it is the actual Google ads. That's what's right below it. And that's the Google ads or Google PPC that that you understand and that you're known for, or that it's known, right? And then below that is your like map pack. And below that on the map pack is like your SEO, right? So you get to go directly to the top, big, 3 options, bold. It's a powerful looking little advertising platform. Okay. How Google local service ads work. This is key. And this is not just how Google local service ads work, but this is ultimately how all the advertising platforms on Google works. I'm curious on how many of you guys know, but it is literally an entire big auction. And that's key to know when you're dealing with whoever you're using for PPC or pay-per-click or whatever. You need to know it's an auction. There's things that you bring to an auction, but ultimately it's an auction, which means the price of calls and clicks, right? And so in this case, Google local service ads, the price of these calls and messages and leads are going to vary upon a lot of different factors, okay? Because it's a big auction. Number one factor is your location. If you're sitting in Chattanooga, Tennessee, your price for these calls are going to be a lot less than when you're sitting in downtown Manhattan, New York City. Okay. So location is going to bring a variance of what the price you are going to pay for is going to be. Number 2, the competition. If you're the only one in Chattanooga, Tennessee, you have low competition. You're going to be able to acquire these calls with the ability to basically not pay as much, right? And that's huge, right? Where you're in New York City, you got 1,000 different companies that are on Google local ads, high competition. The price goes up because of demand, supply and demand. Okay. The third thing is the time of the day and the time of the year, right? The winter season, there's sometimes a higher price and a higher bid because we're in the winter season right now. Because why? There's more people trying to get these moves and less moves happening. So more people are willing to pay more money for these moves. Okay. The other side of it is maybe during the summertime, there's a lot of moves out there, and maybe some people stop their ads because they're like, I already have too much business, right? May not be the case this summer, but you get the idea of like, hey, so the market changes this. Okay. And I want you guys to understand that and know like, hey, here is basically what you need to know is it's an auction. It's an auction where you're going and there's 1,000 different companies bidding on these leads coming in, and Google is the auctioneer that has the control and has the ability to understand what's going on. Okay. Now with these ranking factors, what Google takes into account is 1, your star rating. If you have 1.5 stars or 2.8 stars, you're not going to show up as much. Either you're going to have to spend more money to show up, right? Or they're not going to show you at all because Google controls this, right? It's an auction that you're going to that Google controls. Your location, right? If I'm in Mesa, Arizona, or I'm trying to think, if I'm in Mesa, Arizona here, I'm not going to see local service ads from somebody in, North Flagstaff or in New York City, right? It's only based off your location. And then the other ranking factors of whether your ad shows up or not is going to be your budget. Okay. Your budget, which is really key to understand, is basically how much you're willing to spend, right? If right now the going market rate for this auction in your city right now for the time of day is $70 a call or $40 a call, but you say, hey, Google, I'm only willing to spend $30 per call, you're not going to be placed up there because Google's not going to let you play the game right now because you can't have your budget afford to get in there. Okay. So based on that information, that is where they place you on Google and how they get in there. Does anyone not understand what I just said? Put a 0 if you have no idea what I just said and it's not helpful. I want to make sure I clear that up right now. My hope is there's no zeros, but if there's a 0, we'll see. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to move on because it looks like we got lots of questions to answer at the end. How Google local ads work. The biggest separation on who is on the platform and is the fact, and this is business owners, listen up here because this is big. The biggest separation on who is on the platform is the fact that you get verified to be legally operating, and Google will now guarantee you. You go through a background check. They check your license and insurance information. They check everything to make sure you're a legit company, which means that a customer could go back on Google if they had a bad experience and request Google to refund them. So you kind of have this like you're talking and you're basically playing the game to Daddy Google and making sure you don't piss them off because they could take you off that platform. It also means that if Google finds that this is valid, you would be removed or you would have limited visibility, right? If, hey, you didn't do a good job, they could pull you off that platform. Okay. So just keep that in mind that ultimately Google's valuing you, right? But here's the benefits. Let's get to the benefits real quick. You're at the top of the page. We've already gone over this. You are above everything. So you get on this service. Maybe you don't like it as much. Maybe it's a little bit more expensive, but you're at the top of the every single page. You're over the Google ads. You're over the map pack. You're over everything. The second one is the Google checkmark comes with authority. This is important, business owners, because with this authority and this background check that's done because of the verification process, it means that you should be leveraging this. Listen, leveraging this. I'll say it again. You should be leveraging this in your business. This is the biggest downside, the biggest failed thing I see business owners do is they get on Google Guaranteed and that's all they do. You need to show the authority that comes from that. Google's authoritative, right? Show that you're Google Guaranteed on your landing pages. Show on your homepage that you're Google Guaranteed, right? Because why? You're trying to build trust and authority. And to put on there that you're guaranteed and backed up by Google because they did a big background check on you and have checked all your certifications and your licensing to operate in the state, that's huge. And that builds trust with someone who's thinking of moving with you. Bring the authority on your sales calls, right? Can you imagine a sales call? Hey, yeah, no, we're a great moving company. Yeah, no, we're great. Why should we move with you? Well, because we're great and we have good pricing. Okay, cool. Then they call you up. Hey, why should we move with you? Well, we're awesome. And one of the things we've done is we've allowed Google to guarantee us. And so what they've done is they reviewed our business, our documents, our licensing, our insurance, and our processes, and they put their stamp of guarantee behind us, basically saying this is a legit company operating the correct way with good reviews, and they back us up. Can you imagine if your sales team was saying that on the phone call? That separates you, and it separates you from the people who are on Google Guaranteed and not using that. You guys may know that maybe that's, it's just a thing you go through, but they don't know that. They just go, wow, Google backs this company up. Like, wow, that's amazing. They guarantee this company, right? And so that's a powerful thing to use on all your sales calls. And it gives you authority over your competitors. Hey, yeah, no, I've heard great things about that company. But here's the thing. We're backed up. We've been guaranteed by Google through their local services. And so they've actually reviewed our company and made sure that we are operating legally with all the right insurance and all the right things. And so you can be safe, rest in mind that you're working with a legit company that cares about the success of your move. Man, you're separating yourself. You're leveraging this one check mark on your landing pages, your sales calls, and with your competitors. Okay. Anyone have any questions on that? And if you do, put them in there because I'll answer them later. Hey-o. Moving on, you can target locations with a laser-focused approach. Here's some of the benefits. I had someone email me yesterday. They go, well, how do I target this city like 20 miles away, right? Or 5 miles away where maybe my Google Maps doesn't reach there, but how do I target them? This is an awesome way to target them because you can put inside that platform, you can choose what zip codes, right? So if you're like, the zip code I am located in isn't a great zip code, but this zip code is a good one, and this one's a good one. You can say bid on this zip code, this zip code, this zip code, and this zip code, and then that's it, right? And so let me just kind of show you a photo of what that looks like. Can you guys see this photo real quick? Awesome. So this is like a company that's located near me. You can see the excluded areas in red and the included zip codes in red, or in the included ones in blue. And so you can pick and choose what zip codes and what areas you like, right? Not a good neighborhood. You don't like those moves. Don't bid on it, right? So it's very targeted approach to how you're doing things, okay? Let's go back to here. There's competition, blah, blah, blah. Ha, ha. Laser focus approach. Awesome. Moving on back here. So benefits Google Local Guaranteed here. You only pay for real call leads and messages, not clicks. I cannot say this more often. You're not paying for the stupid click. You're not paying for the guy calling you asking for a job. You're not paying for grandma who goes, hey, do you move mobile homes? Like, you're not paying for that. Where Google PPC, you're paying for that click. You, some of you guys, I don't know, how many of you guys, real quick, who use PPC have ever been called and suddenly you start Google Ads and suddenly they're asking you, hey, are you U-Haul? Are you U-Haul? Can I rent a U-Haul truck from you? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever been getting those calls. Oh, U-Haul, do you? Yeah, Bobby, Reese, yeah, you've been getting that. Number one, yeah, all you guys. Number one, go if you're running Google Ads and you're getting those calls, go to the guy who's running your ads or gal and make sure they have U-Haul or U-Haul type words as negative keywords. Sometimes they go through, but just double check. Just email them and go, hey, I just want to make sure any U-Haul type related words and variations of U-Haul, right? Just make sure that they have that as a negative keyword, because sometimes they forget that or they don't do it and you're getting these calls, right? And guess what? You're paying for that. You're paying for the clicks. And this is the benefit with Google Local Guaranteed, is you're only paying for the real calls. And if you don't offer that service, you don't get charged. Okay. So, and the other benefit is you really don't need an agency. This is for you guys trying to save money, you cheapos. You don't really need an agency to run this for you, right? Some of them will sell it for you, and they'll sell it like all within the Google Ads platform. And so that's cool. There's some reasons to have an agency run it for you. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe you just want to make sure it's tracked correctly. Or the biggest thing is maybe they have some reps at Google that help you like navigate things. There's some benefits of paying, but ultimately you don't need to pay an agency for this specific platform. You as a business owner can go spend 1 hour, 30 minutes, set this up and really not touch it maybe once a month just to double check that things are doing well, right? And so that's a real benefit, is you don't need an agency to pay for this. So I'm supposed to explain my story of being able to onboard clients on Google, and I don't remember the story I was supposed to do. Oh, I think the story was people were paying us to get onto Google Local Guaranteed about 2 years ago because it was hard to get on. And so there's some benefits of paying an agency, but ultimately you don't need an agency to run this. Okay. I want you guys focused here. Biggest benefit of all, focus. Okay. I want to make sure you're not chatting here. Biggest benefit of all here. Biggest benefit of all for a moving business owner. As a business owner, okay, this is where accountability comes into play. As a moving business owner, as a business owner, benefit is full accurate tracking. Okay. I don't know how many of you guys get so sick and fed up of like, I don't know if it came from SEO or it came from Google Ads or it came from this. Like, I don't know. Ultimately, I have no idea where it came from, and it drives you insane. Number one, there's ways to narrow it down. So you can have a conversation with us about how to narrow it down and get rough numbers. But there should be, I cannot say this anymore. There should be full accurate tracking. You should know exactly to the dollar how much money you made from Google Local Guaranteed, and you should know exactly how much you spent. And I'll show you kind of how you can do that later on today. But you need to know that. And that's the benefit of it all. It's fully tracked for you. All you need to do is spend some time and do it. Get an admin, get it someone like a virtual assistant, get whoever. It's fully accurately trackable, right? And accurately isn't even a word. Okay. What happens is it lets you know the reason why it's trackable. It records all your calls. An algorithm is always listening to the calls, and basically it lets you know that the call is coming from Google. Okay. And so that's powerful, right? No other platform, no Google Ads, no other platform says, hey, this call is from Google, right? And so the moment that phone call you pick up and it says this call is from Google, you know exactly where it's from. And you need to train your salespeople or whoever it is that when they hear that, immediately the source of that lead goes into Google Guaranteed. On your CRM, you should have a line item. I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to that later. All right. You get a notification right after that call in your app and on your email that it was a call from Google Guaranteed. And ultimately, your CRM you should put this in your CRM as Google Guaranteed or Google LSA. I personally like Google Guaranteed. You'll hear the words, this is a call from Google or something around that. No other platform, not Google Ads, not SEO, not Google Business Profile does that. So if you hear that, it came from your Google local service ads. Okay. That's the biggest. What other tracking source do you know exactly what it came from? It's hard. It's really hard. This gives it to you. As a business owner, it gives it to you. You know whether you can spend more or spend less. Like, that's winning right there as a business owner. The downsides of Google Guaranteed. Okay, here's the things you need to know about the downsides. You are limited to scaling your ad spend unlike normal Google Ads. You go to like Nick Vitucci. Nick Vitucci is a guy from getdeclared.com. Great guy. If you're wanting to run Google Ads, I recommend him. I've had a lot of clients have great experience with him, but he can spend $30,000 a month for you. He can spend $300,000 a month with you, right? With Google Guaranteed, you don't have the ability to choose that. You can say, here's my budget, and it will try to spend it depending on the market and the demand and the competition, but you don't have the ability to just scale and go. So that's a downside. You have no control on what is on the ad. So a lot of the times the ads are basically they come in, you have the ads, you have no control of what goes on there. So that's the upside and downside. The upside, you have no control. Downside is you have no control. Okay. And you have no ability to make it better, right? Unlike Google Ads, where you can run a better campaign, run a more optimized campaign, you have no way of necessarily making it better. And someone's just put in the comments here, can you add call rail numbers to Google Guarantee ads to track everything from the platform? When it comes to Google Guaranteed, it's already tracking it for you. It's already a different phone number for you, right? So you don't have to do anything. Again, you don't overcomplicate it, right? They do everything for you. They change your phone number. They change everything. You have it fully recorded. Okay. I'll get to more questions here in a little bit. You're limited to your location or your Google business profile. So that's the downside. You need a Google business profile and you're limited to those locations. So if you're sitting, I don't know where you guys know, I'm going to just use Phoenix because you guys probably all watch the Super Bowl, right? If you're located in Glendale, Arizona, and that's where your Google business profile is in Glendale, Arizona, well, you can't go bid 30 miles away. You're not going to show up. And so that's a downside. You're limited to just your local presence because, again, it's a local advertising service. All right, tips and tricks, guys, and then we'll go to questions and answers. This is where you pay attention right here. Stop what you're doing. Stop picking up the phone, right? Really pay attention here. Here's the tips and tricks. I'm telling you, this is gold. It can save you hundreds of dollars a month by doing this, and probably more than just save you, it can make you an extra $2,000, $3,000 a month. $2,000, $3,000 a month. Who doesn't want $2,000, $3,000 a month extra that you're already spending on, right? You're already on Google local service ads. Why not get an extra $2,000, $3,000 a month? Let me show you how. Tips and tricks. Listen up. Number one, you're going to see an advertisement for Max Conversions, okay? Max Conversions is powerful because it basically says, I'm willing to spend whatever money I need to spend in order to be showing up on this platform. But it can get out of control for local service ads. So only use this if you're ready to pay a premium for leads. Okay. When I say a premium for leads, let's just say you're willing to spend $50 per call, legit high intent call, right? Well, if I'm making this up, but let's just say 50% of the day you get $50 a call, you can get placed up there and you'll get those, right? Well, during the expensive time of the auction, when it's expensive, if it goes to $90 or $100 for a call, if you have Max Conversions on, you're going to pay $100 for the call. Now, the benefit is that call may convert into a move. The downside is you're paying $100 for the same call you're spending $50 on. So if you're sitting here and going, man, I want more leads or I need more moves and I'm willing to spend for it, Max Conversions could be a good thing because you go, hey, I'll throw $100 at a call. I'll throw $75. I'll throw $20. Whatever max bid I need to do to get that call, I'll do it. But again, you're paying a premium for the leads, okay? If that doesn't make sense, put it in the chat. I'll hit it later. Okay, other trick here. Dispute your phone calls. Dispute your phone calls. Any call that is not a legitimate lead should be listened to by the algorithm, because all calls are listened to by the algorithm. They're always watching, and it should be automatically not charged to you. But sometimes it comes through where they still charge you. So every non-legitimate lead, you should have a process of going into Google local service ads, okay? And you need to basically go into Google local services ads and click on the dispute button, okay? And if you don't know where the dispute button is, you're welcome. Yours truly. Oh, you see my face way more. Don't do that. I'm not that pretty. Do you guys see my screen now? Okay, I see my screen. Okay. Here is what the dispute button looks like. Here's what it looks like when you're not charged. Okay. It says right at the very top, this lead. Ooh. Oh man. Here we go. It says this lead is not been charged, right? So the algorithm already listened to it, or you didn't pick up the phone. Again, remember, you're only paying for calls that you talk to. So if you don't pick up the phone, you're not being charged, okay? But let me show you what it looks like when you dispute it. See if I can find it. Maybe I didn't even do a screenshot of it. Aha, right up here. Right up here, you'll see a lead. You'll see an incoming call, and at the very top right, you'll see 3 ellipsis dots. Click on that, and you'll have a dispute button. And you click on that dispute, and what it will do is they'll send a notification to Google. A real human being will basically review the call and determine whether that ad or whether that call was legitimate or not. So that's how you dispute a call. Okay. All right. Awesome. So dispute your calls. It saves you money, right? It's a lead that you're going to pay $50 for. And if you're not being careful, you can get 2, 3, 4 of those a month that the algorithm didn't pick up, where ultimately, if you dispute it, it'll save you $200 by disputing it. Okay. Number 3, Okay, this is big. Guys, I can't tell you enough. Listen up, listen up, listen up, listen up. Don't pitch your service to bad leads or fake leads. The moment you pitch your service, the moment you pitch your service, guys, they will charge you. I don't care if you're talking to a dog. If you say, hey, dog, we can move you, they will charge you because you pitch their services on their platform and they're listening to everything. So here's an example. You might get a lot of calls. I'm sure you guys have experienced this where you get moving a mobile home. Hey, do you move mobile homes? You're like, I'm a moving service, not a construction business, right? And you're like, no. If you get that call and you go, hey, no, that is not a service we offer. Thank you so much for calling. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Google will most likely charge you for the call or hear that you don't pitch a service and they won't charge you. And if they do charge you, you click dispute because now you know, and they'll probably not charge you. But if you go, ma'am, I'm so sorry, we don't offer moving your mobile home, but we'll move your stuff inside for you. Now you've pitched your service and they will charge you. And if you dispute it, they will go, you pitched your service using our information, okay? Or using our platform. We are now charging you. So this is really good information to bring to your sales team and go, when you hear this call come in that says, Google, this is Google, a call from Google, they need to know, don't pitch a service unless it's needed. Don't pitch a service unless it's a good lead. Don't pitch a service on fake leads or bad leads. They need to know that, okay? Now the tip and trick here. Guys, listen to this. You have all the phone numbers when they call you. And so if you miss your phone call, okay, don't make it a habit because Google's probably going to see that you're just always missing phone calls and then be like, well, this company sucks. They don't even answer the phone. Therefore, you're having a bad experience and therefore they don't show you. Don't make this a habit. But when you miss the phone call, guess what? Google doesn't track you picking up that phone and dialing them back. Google doesn't have a tracking on your main line. The way they can track it is because they have a tracking number when they call you. But now you have their phone number. Now you pick up your phone and you call them back. If they haven't been, like if they're a legit lead, Google can't track it. You didn't pick up the phone, so you're not charged for the lead, but you could book the move. And this is how you make an extra $2,000, $3,000 a month. When you call back missed calls, you book them, they move with you for $1,500 for the move, but you never got charged for the lead. But Google was giving you the lead. Isn't that beautiful? Who doesn't do this already? And they're like, I'm doing this now. But like me, if you like, hey, I've not done that and now I'm doing that. I'm calling back everybody and making sure that I can book that free lead. Does anyone, let's see this chat here. Does anyone not do that? Now they're going to do it. Yeah, that's what I like to see. I got Nick here. Good. Yep. Good. Yep. You'll do it now, Reese. Yep. So again, call them back. Dispute calls. Call them back. Don't make it a habit again because I really don't believe the platform is meant for you to just miss all the calls and call them back. Google will see that and just stop showing you. But again, sometimes you miss a call them back, and it's a free lead. All right, leverage this for your company and brand. I've already talked about this. Leverage it. Put this Google Guaranteed on your website. Put the check mark. It's a really cool check mark. It's Google Guaranteed. It's a stamp. Okay. Put it on, empower your salesperson, know how to talk about it on a point of calls with all your leads, not even just the Google leads, every lead that comes in. Yep. We're a moving company. We've been in operation for 15 years. This is why you should move with us. Also, we've been vetted and background checked by Google itself. And they have guaranteed us and put their stamp of verification behind us. Like powerful to put on your salesperson who can help close more deals for you. Okay. And empower your salesperson to know when a Google Guaranteed call comes in that they're going to put it in the CRM correctly. Use the power of the Google verification to provide trust with clients on emails, right? Maybe put a Google Guaranteed picture on all your emails for your entire team. So when they see that all the time that you're Google Guaranteed, put it on your website. I guess this is so important that I put it twice. Okay. Just remember, guys, like leverage this. This is not just something you earn this. You're doing business, right? You're licensed, you're insured, you're doing all the things, and Google does a background check on you and goes, this is a legitimate company. Leverage the crap out of it, guys. It's powerful. It's powerful stuff to people who don't understand this. And it's powerful stuff to get someone to trust you. And then respond to leads promptly. This is just a good business trick. When a customer contacts you through the local service ads, respond as quickly as possible, okay? Because they're looking They want to know who's going to be responsive. They're going to know who wants to call, who wants the, like, let's be honest. They want to know who wants their business. Like I'm like, dude, this guy took 7 hours to call back, but this other company has called me twice in 3 hours to go, how can I help you? What can I do to make your move better? Does our service provide you value? I'm like, man, those guys want to earn my business and I want to work with them because of that. So call them back as quickly as possible. This can help increase the chances of converting the lead into a customer, makes you money, gets you a better return on investment. And then finally, the biggest trick, 100% accurate ROI tracking. You should, as a business owner, you should never not know how much money you made from Google local ads and how much you spent. It tells you exactly how much money you spent for the month, right? It says you've spent $780 or $1,200. Okay. It'll show that to you. And because it says when a phone call comes in, because it says it's from Google, you now know to put that as Google guaranteed. So you can see how many you're booking and how much money you're making from it. Okay. Every phone call and phone number should be reviewed. I would do this on a weekly basis so it's not overwhelming. Just go back in, log in, look at every single phone call, every single phone number, and tie that back into your CRM. Find out if they are a booked move. Okay. Get that information and find out if they're a booked move. You should have the Google guaranteed as a line item in your smart moving CRM or whatever, less superior CRM you're using. I'm a little biased. I love smart moving, but it should be a line item, Google guaranteed. It should not be Google. It shouldn't be your website. It shouldn't be phone call. It should be Google guaranteed. And you'll know exactly how much lead you got through there. You'll know, and then every month you can put in how much money you spent on Google guaranteed by just logging in and getting that information, and you'll know your return on investment. And then you can scale that up, spend more, go max conversions, or bring it down and try it again in another month, right? Maybe try it again during the summertime. Spend money on this and try it out. And then the CRM should include leads that were not charged or not counted. So if you weren't charged for the lead, it should still be a lead in your CRM because ultimately it's a lead that Google guaranteed brought to you. Yes, you didn't get charged for it. You got lucky. It doesn't technically count on their platform, but you should basically put it in your CRM. And you should be able to turn this up as much as you want on Google. You should be able to say, hey, $20,000 a month, do it if you can, right? And you should, because you know the return on investment that you are making. Let me just show you some quick photos here, and I'll go through this here, and then we will go to questions. So get your questions in. Let's just unhide these photos so I can hit these real quick and just explain these here. Unhide, unskip the slides. Look at this. I'm a Google magician here. All right, I've showed you this one. This kind of shows you like the amount of money you spent. This is your bidding. This second column here is how much, like this is automatic, whatever they will do. This is like one company is doing $60 they're willing to spend. This one's willing to spend 50. There's the star ratings and then how much they spent. This is what a lead summary looks like. You can see it's a phone call that came in on January 5th at 10 a.m. The business category was mover. It was a missed call, right? And so you would be able to call them back. Here's another one. Here you can see the 480-458. So that's a phone number you can call them back on. This one is a message. Sometimes you get messages coming in. Again, same concept gets applied to that. This is what it looks like on kind of the inside when you set it up. And then again, you get to choose like, hey, I do junk removal, add junk removal. Hey, I don't do out-of-state moving because I'm not legally licensed for it. Cool. Uncheck it. Hey, I do storage. Check it. Right? That's what you get to do on this. And so it knows who to bid for. It bids for you based off the services you offer. I've showed you this already, and I've showed you dispute. Awesome. Let's go to questions and comments. I will do my best to answer them for you guys. Tracy, thank you so much. Hi, good to see you. Let's go into this. I think there's a lot of questions here. I got my man Nick here helping me out. So private host chat. Awesome. Okay, dropping in questions here. So, John, a large percentage of Google guaranteed movers in my market are not licensed to move household goods in my state. From John. Okay, interesting. I don't know anything about that. Maybe the verification process, maybe you don't know that they're licensed. Maybe they made it up. Unfortunately, it's the game we have to play. I wish I had a better answer for you. Reese, I have noticed that the green check mark appears sometimes and other times it does not. Is this for a reason? I have, yeah. So, do you guys see my pretty face? Okay. I'm going to share my screen. This is going to be risky because I may get a text message in here and you just never know. Let's see here. Share your screen, new tab. Do you guys see my Google? Okay. So, moving companies. I'm just looking for moving companies. Boom. So I've never not seen the Google guaranteed here. If it shows up, Reese, that there's no check of Google Guaranteed, what Google's doing is they don't have enough competition in there or people who have signed up. And so they're just automatically pulling businesses and putting them up here, right? And there's going to be no stamp. And so if you're the only one stamped with Google Guaranteed, these guys are ultimately, who are not signed up, they're just getting free advertising. But the idea is hopefully they call you because of the check mark. Notice how this has changed, right? I did this search yesterday and I showed you guys 3 different companies. Now this one's showing up again, 3 different companies. The only one that's the same is All My Sons Moving in Phoenix, but all these have changed. Again, it's an auction, it's a bid, right? And again, when I click on this, they're not being charged yet, okay? And you can see all the people signed up for Google Guaranteed, right? So it's a bid and you got to bid for it. I'm surprised that this 3.4 star was getting on it. So hopefully that shows you an answer to that question, Reese. But sometimes it actually show up the check mark on your Google business profile, which I think is phenomenal if that shows up. But ultimately, if they have no stamp, it's because they never signed up for the platform, but there's normally not enough competition. So they're just grabbing a business and putting it up there. Wow, lots of questions, guys. For Christian, can you add a call rail number to Google Guaranteed ads? You don't need to. It's tracked automatically. You know it's from Google Guaranteed. It says it. So you don't need to do that. Or my sales team mix Google Ads, Google Guaranteed, or get everything is Google from the customer. Yes, it's Google from the customer. The difference is it's Google from the customer point of view, but because it says this is a call from Google, you know exactly what platform it came on. Okay. It's not Google Ads. It's not Google Business Profile. Yes, they found you on Google. So they're going to tell your sales guy Google. But if the salesperson answers and they hear that, they need to know no matter what, that needs to be marked as Google Guaranteed. Toby, can we put Google Guaranteed checkmark on our website? Absolutely. Yeah, take a screenshot. There's ways to build it a little bit better. Like go to your advertising agency, say, hey, I want this screenshot looking nice. I want it on my homepage. I want it on my landing page, my thank you page, wherever you want it. Like get it on there. That's an advertising platform. Like do it. Yanis, good to hear from you, Yanis. I have lately lots of one-item moves or very small moves from Google Guaranteed. Or just messages asking an hourly rate. Is there any way to dispute those because the price is always higher? No, unfortunately, Yanis, that's the name of the game. I don't know where your Google business profile, I mean, I know, but I don't remember where it's located at. It could be that it's just located in an area that's kind of the general consensus. That's the game you have to play. This is why I'm not telling you everyone needs to do this blindly. You have to play the game a little bit. You have to understand what leads are coming in through it. Yanis, you have to understand whether maybe it's not right. I know plenty of people that it's not right for them and they just don't use it. That's fine. But it's such an easy tool in your toolbox as a business owner that I'd hate for people not to know about this and not know how to leverage this. And so that's why I'm sharing it with you guys today. But yeah, maybe you get a new Google business profile in a new location, build some reviews up, and then get that location verified on Google Guaranteed that's in a better area. So for Matthew, do they ding you if you dispute too much? I haven't heard anything about that. I used to have a client that would dispute every call no matter what, just to see what happens. So again, think about the way I do marketing is holistic. The way we do marketing at Rotate Digital is we'd rather do long-term sustainable based off of the outcome the platform's trying to do. So ultimately, does it ding you? I don't know. Probably not. But like if you're just abusing the platform, do you think that you maybe have an algorithm code that like sees that and then maybe dings you on it? Possibly. So just play the game correctly. James, is max conversions a separate type of lead or bidding? Yeah, it's separate type. So in Google Guaranteed, you can basically say, I'm willing to pay $30. $30 a call. That's the most. You can put 50, you put 100, right? But when you click on max conversions, you're basically saying, I don't care if it's $10 or $200, put me on there, boss. That's kind of what that's saying. If I am not answering your question to the full extent, just put in the chat and I can hit it and Nick will yell at me. Oh man, lots of questions. Can you guys, just while I go through these, can you guys give me a 5? Give me a 5 if this is helpful. And if it's not helpful, don't tell me because I don't want my feelings hurt. But give me a 5 if this is helpful for you guys. Let me know that I need to keep going through these questions, that this is useful. Hey, who did? James gave me a 10. There you go. 5 if this is helpful, guys. 5 if this is helpful. Cool. Thank you guys so much. Good. Really appreciate it, guys. All right, let's keep going through this. Does Google only guarantee that Bobby? We've been really slow currently and set as max bid. Would like to hear more on this, so we are not paying a lot. Yeah. Less customers than it was last year. more people bidding for it. So it's inexpensive. When you think about supply and demand, the supply is low and the demand is high, right? You see lots of I'm talking to moving company owners. I know some of you guys are HVAC and some of you guys are house clean. This is for one of the things I didn't mention. This is for a lot of different industries. So you have other companies like house cleaning, realtors. I got my dad as a realtor on here and it's worked for him. Like you can do this for a lot of different industries. It's different on each industry. I'm speaking specifically to the home services, specifically to moving services here, but ultimately, the supply is low, the demand is high, which means you're spending more money on it. And that's just the name of the game, unfortunately. Side note, I've been told about 30%, plan for 30% less moves this year. And so because that supply is down until these moving companies go out of business, like you're going to be paying for it. And that's probably the hard part. I personally, I've upped my marketing budget a whole lot just to continue pushing through this market. Does Google Guaranteed move if they only contact you through Google? Does Google? Yes. They only guarantee it if they contact you through Google local guaranteed platform services. So if it's off the books, right? If they could show that they can't track it, or it's just some guy who called you from whatever and you use the Google guarantee as a sales tactic, Google's not going to back that up. But again, ultimately, you're not being unethical telling them that stuff. Can we integrate Google Guaranteed with your CRM? I wish. I think Google Guaranteed integrates with your CRM only with Service Titan, House Call Pro, and another weird one. But if you're not using one of those, no, you have to do this manually. Reese, does Google Local Service leads report include leads that were not charged? Yes, it does. It'll show you the leads that are not charged. It'll show you which leads charged, which leads not charged. It'll show you the recording of the phone call so you know what was said on the phone call. I mean, it gives you everything you would want as a business owner for tracking. Phone number, phone call, time and date it came in, and the recording of the phone call. I lost in here. Cameron, how do you respond to Google Local Service ad reviews? Don't know if I know the answer to that question or what you're asking. How do you respond? Nicely, with truth and love is how you respond. I don't know if you can. I believe they go to your Google business profile, but I'm not too sure. So that's one I just don't know, and I'm not going to pretend I know it. From Nick Unicker. How does your hours of operation affect Google Guaranteed visibility? Great question, Nick. So on your Google Guaranteed, you can say when you want to bid. And you can say, I'm willing to bid 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if someone Googles at 2 a.m. a moving company, right, you're going to show up as a bid. You can also say only bid during my open hours. And you can put your open hours on there and it will only bid while you're open. So you basically know you're going to get that call. So you can choose how you want to bid. Is one better than the other? Again, downsides and upsides, try them both. If I were to start this today, you had a gun to my head. You said, Travis, pick one. You're starting this today. I would say start with when you're open. So you know that you're going to get the calls. You can monitor them. You can make sure your sales team is working on it well, and then open it up to 24/7 and see how that goes and see how that changes over time. Do this now, guys, by the way. Track this over February and March, because in the summertime, you'll have different tracking metrics and you can have some baselines to go, here's what I'm spending and making from Google Local Service ads during the wintertime and during the summertime. I just had a conversation with a client and they basically found out that they were spending $700 a month on Google Local Service ads and making $5,000. Right? So again, you may go, well, that's not amazing. Yeah, but $5,000 that you weren't going to get and you spent $700 to get in a market like this, I'd do that all day long. Right? So like, it's powerful. An extra $5,000, that could be potentially 5 to 7 moves, depending on your average move, right? Wouldn't your workers like that in the slow season? So there's some real benefits from this, and he just has to track it. So Cameron, how do you respond? Nick, hours. Joanna, there are so many moving companies that are coming up with Google Guaranteed near me that are not local moving companies anywhere near here. So is it not local businesses only? Yeah, great question. When you say, are they in a different state? I would kind of want to know, are they in a different state? Or are they just not in your city? If they're not in your city, again, different state. Interesting. Joanna, I don't know anything about that. That's super strange. Joanna, where are you located at? Is that a big city or is it a small city? Is it near a border? Interesting. Outside of Pittsburgh. I'll play that game a little bit. Yeah. One is from Chicago. That's so interesting. So I can't tell you. I don't know. I've never heard that before. It could be a fluke. It could be something that Google's testing. It could be just because of your environment. They're making more money with it. So it's an interesting thing. If you screenshot that and want to just send it to team@rotatedigital.com, I'd love to see that. Additionally, later on, I'll even just pretend and I can trick my browser to be in different cities and I can try to Google and see what I see. But again, name of the game, just don't know. It could be testing. It could be new. This is again, Google's always changing. So yeah, they could have secondary offices and then the main ones showing up. There could be lots of reasons. So I don't have that answer. Carlos, how do you fix it when Google Ads block the profile? How do you fix Carlos, do you mind just kind of restating that? I don't totally understand what that is. How do you fix it when Google Ads block the profile? I don't know what that is or what the issue is. James, is there any way to block your competition from clicking on your ads, PPC, and wasting your budget? James, guess what? No, I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. Now, what they do is they block the same IP address from like clicking multiple times. But ultimately, so there's a lot like if they're clicking it over and over and over again, it's from the same IP address. The answer is they'll block that. They won't charge you for that. But ultimately, there's really no way to stop somebody. There is a company called ClickCease that supposedly helps. My input, my relationships. I'm buddies and friends with a guy who owns a $10 million PPC company. And he basically goes, you're still going to get bots clicking. You're still going to get companies clicking. It does a tiny bit. It doesn't help that much. And it's just not as useful as you want it to be. So people still use it. I'm not saying don't use it. It's just, unfortunately, again, the name of the game. And so this is the key here. And I want to just share this with you guys before we finish up. Again, last kind of stuff, put it in here. Also, by the way, side note, little plug-in for Rotate Digital here. If this has been helpful for you guys, and you guys be like, man, this has been great, it would mean the world to us. We're trying to build our reviews on Google, trying to put in play what you guys are doing. If you guys haven't already, just go and Google Rotate Digital right now and go to the reviews and just leave us a review. A 5-star review would be great. If it's 1 star, let me know why first, so we don't do that because I'm still a small business. But leave a 5-star review and just say the knowledge that Rotate Digital gives is phenomenal. Or something along the lines or whatever you want to say. Like that would be really helpful for us. So a little plug in there for Rotate Digital. But where was I going with this before I was distracted and talking about myself being selfish here? Anyway, the goal of this is all of these have different, all of these advertising platforms have their downsides and the quirks, and it's a game you have to play. My goal with this is to show you as much about this game and how to play it as well as possible and know the variables so you know how to play the game better as a business owner. That's the game, right? Facebook ads could work. How does it work? What's the best way to do it, right? That's a whole different strategy. You know, it is still PPC ultimately, but it's different, right? And so my game here is to try to show you guys how to play this game. So, but yeah, no way to block competition is just part of the PPC. There's ways to try to help, but it doesn't do anything. Follow up from Cameron. We haven't been able to find a way to respond to LSA customer reviews. They don't pop up on our Google business profile, and we haven't found a way to respond in the LSA platform. Interesting. Here's what I would do. I would email customer service and ask. Go to Google LSA. They have a customer service, either chat or email, and bring up some examples and ask them about that. They may not, or Google it. I could Google it right now, but I don't want to get too distracted here, but that may be something that you look into. I haven't heard of that, but yeah, so it may be that they don't allow it to. Maybe it's been blocked by you somehow. So you have to work with their team and try to call them and try to get to customer service and see if they have an answer. Later on today, if I can, I'll try to, I've got your email, Cameron. I'll try to look at it. If I can find a quick answer for you, I'll send it to you. But basically, I don't know that answer. And that is one of the benefits of working with an agency who you're paying for to help run this is you would just send that question to them and they would have to go to customer service for you and go up to bat. That is one of the benefits there. So good. I'm going to go here and just see here. Christian, thank you so much. Hey, send a link to all your existing customers or previous ones. We'll take care of it. Send a link reviewed. Oh yeah. Thank you guys so much for reviewing. Again, I don't have time to get that link right now. But go ahead and go to Rotate Digital. Just go to Google and just type in Rotate Space Digital. My profile will pop up. I would really love a review. Bobby, is this Bob Faring? Is he still on here? Hey, man, I haven't talked to you in a long time. I hope you're doing well, man. I'm glad it's been helpful. If there's anything I can do, I'm going to be at the ATA Moving Conference Association, the the remnants of the moving and storage conference that was. I'll be there this Florida. So if you guys are going to be there, come say hi. You need to link both profile. Yeah. So guys, you need to link the profiles together. When you sign up for the service, it'll ask you to link it for you. So what I'm not doing is I'm not showing you how to sign up because it's boring, but it steps you in the right direction. If you have any questions, they'll be able to, if you have any questions, they'll be able to help you out. So they're being better there. So, any other questions? I've got an unstable internet here. Good. 1122. Awesome, guys. Any last questions? We got one more minute before we sign off. Again, leaving a review for me would be great. I'd appreciate that. I really appreciate, guys, all the 5s here, that this was helpful. Do you guys want more of this? Real quick question. Give me a 1 if you guys want more of this, just taking different concepts of marketing and different platforms and just showing the tips and tricks and how it's being used. Can you just give me a 1 if you guys want more of these? Awesome. 1, I've seen companies in other states show up in your area. Matt, good to know. I'll start looking into that. Annual meeting Wednesday next week, sponsored by Rotate Digital. That's right, Brian. Hey-o. Typically, what does it cost for SEO? Do you create? Yeah, Toby, we create websites as well as like one-off projects, and we do a really good job at them and getting better and better every day. Cost for SEOs, depending on what you want to do. We have different packages. Go rotatedigital.com and click on one of the buttons there, and it'll get you a call. Book a meeting. James, thank you so much, guys. We're going to continue doing this. One thing to help us, and we're going to end this, is share this with your friends. We're going to put this on YouTube, share it on the Facebook groups at 7-Figure and the moving companies. Just say how amazing this is. We'll keep going, but if you can share this with people, that would be great. Everyone, thank you so much. I hope this has been helpful. Have a wonderful week. Leverage the platform. If you get into it and have questions, I'll try to answer them. Just email team@rotatedigital.com. You guys have a wonderful time, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on the other side. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.